Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The No Hat Jason is before you today. I'm here with my main man. This is the Q&A show, and I'm here with my main man, Quintin Mikell. Quintin Mikell, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Good to be back. Another week. Blessed to be here. So glad. Let's have some fun, man.
Excited to have some fun. Excited to have some fun. The Birds got us a win this week. We're feeling good around the city. 21-18 victory over the Carolina Panthers. We want to say thank you guys for tuning in to the Q&A podcast on the Inside the Birds platform. Thank you to Adam and Jeff and to Hunter and Josh and everyone that's responsible behind the scenes. Continue to send your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Make sure that you tune in on Inside the Birds platform on the YouTube channel, also Amazon Music, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And continue to support us. Continue to check in and tune in to what we have going on. Q, very, very exciting week because we got the W. I don't care how the W comes, we got the W. Now, with that being said, was it a good win? Was it a bad win? How does that work in your mind? To me, a win is a win because it's hard to get wins in the National Football League. Ask the Detroit Lions about that right about now. They're reeling for a win, and they've played well enough for the last 3 weeks to get a win. But yet that last second field goal keeps taking a win from them. So us getting that win here means something. But let's talk about that. Was it a good win? What about the performance? Those things.
I think it was a good win. As you said, man, anytime you can get a win in this league, it's you take it. It don't matter how it comes. This game is so difficult to play. It's tough to win each week in and out, and you got so many injuries and so many different things that can happen each week, and the team on the other side is getting paid big money too. So it's not like everything is guaranteed. So we'll take it. And I'm excited. I saw some good things, and we'll talk about those things. But some things that needed some growth. But overall, man, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I call it a good win just because it's a win. Did our team perform well? No. Did they perform well enough to win this game? Yes. Will they win this game playing like that on Thursday night? No. They'll lose by 50. But we got the win on that Sunday. We were the better team, and we showed some resilience being down. What was it, 15-3? Being able to come back and show some resilience. I like that a bunch. And I did like the change up of playing cover three a lot more. The defense did. And they played some man in the red zone. They got beat on it twice. But I was excited with some changes, and we'll get into that. But most importantly, they got the win. So let's be happy about that. And we're still in contention for the playoffs, though it's an outside shot. We're still in contention for it. We thought that our schedule would be even harder because when we looked at this, 3 weeks ago, the Las Vegas Raiders were undefeated, but they've lost the last 2 games, which now they're 3-2. And the Buccaneers are the Buccaneers. It's going to be a real tough game this Thursday. But with that being said, let's transition. Let's transition to the offense, right? Let's transition to the offense. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts' game. Let's talk about the offense as a whole. How do you think that Jalen Hurts played this game? And let's run down some of the things that we know about Jalen Hurts' game, right?
Yeah.
This game that he played, he was only 59% completions. He only had 198 yards with 37 attempts. That's very underwhelming. No touchdowns, 1 interception. And he did turn the ball over in the end zone, and it was a safety. So let's talk about his performance. What do you think overall?
Yeah, I think overall, it's tough because I don't necessarily. I think he was at times. I think he was inaccurate. I think he's still not seeing the entire field. I still get the vibe that it looks like he's just reading one side. But also, I hate to come on here each week and try to blame the coaches and the play calling. But I just get the feeling that this offense, for whatever reason, it's like they're trying to shoehorn him into this college style type offense, but it's not working. It just doesn't feel right. So at times I'm looking at the tape and I'm looking at certain things, and the inaccuracy issues. I think reading coverage issues and understanding where the blitz is coming from. I think all those issues are coming from this style of offense,
Mm-hmm.
and it's tough because if you want your quarterback to grow and to you know progress in this league and to get better each week and to really progress from being a college style quarterback to a pro style quarterback, you have to take them bumps and bruises. You have to go through the process. You're going to have some games where you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to have some games where you're going to, throw picks and make the wrong reads. And it just feels like it feels like the coaching staff is kind of shoehorning him into this college style offense when
Yeah.
the rest of the team isn't necessarily built for it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really a weird thing for me. And I do think that he needs to get a lot better. But he got two touchdowns, rushing touchdowns down the stretch. He willed this team to win. The defense, got some big plays, and special teams came up big. And at the end of the day, he didn't lose the game for us. So I still give him a positive grade in the sense that we ended up with the win, and we'll take it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your feelings on him?
I kind of agree with you when it comes to stunting his growth. I think this offense will eventually stunt his growth. And are we seeing um, portions of this offense across the league? Yes. But I just seen Lamar Jackson play his best game this past Monday, and he
Wow.
played his best game throwing the ball, right? Threw for 447, I believe, yards or whatever it was. It was something crazy, and he kind of restricted himself to the pocket at times when he would normally run. And that's the progression that you want to see from Lamar Jackson. You want to see those progressions from Jalen Hurts as well. And I think that if you stay in a conventional college style, what that's not conventional, but if you stay in a college style offense, eventually it's going to stunt his growth. And we won't get to the point with Jalen Hurts where he can play under center at times and or step up in the pocket and make the right read like Lamar Jackson was able to grow into that over the last couple of years. And it was a culmination of his growth last night with being able to throw the ball effectively like he did yesterday. And so it just made me think about Jalen Hurts and how this offense could possibly stun his growth, because it's like this. It's like learning how to type. When you first learn how to type, you're efficient with your two fingers. You're efficient with, a
Mm-hmm.
few fingers, and you go
Yeah.
faster that way than using your whole hand. And if you stay that way with two fingers, even though you're faster at the moment, it only has a ceiling. You can't go as fast as you want to.
Yep.
But if you take the time out and it's tedious and you learn muscle memory, the home key and so on and so forth, you become faster and you become a touch typer. That's what happens. And it's the same way
Great
at playing this
analogy.
quarterback position, being traditional. Yes, it takes longer, but you're going to have the longer term success, and you're going to be more effective as you get older and more efficient. And there's no ceiling to that. The potential is just unlimited that way. So I don't want to see our team continue to neglect being under center, neglect putting the run game first, neglect having him read the entire field, neglect him being able to call out the mic and not be relying on Nick Sirianni and Jason Kelsey, but being able to figure it out and do it himself. Basically,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. And I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying that that's happening right now all the way, but I can see the potential for that happening.
Yeah,
If
I
that
agree.
makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So, and let's deal with that. Is Sirianni catering the playbook to Jalen Hurts so much that he's abandoning some conventional wisdom, like running the ball? We just talked about that, right?
Mhm.
Because we're not making enough of an effort to run the football. And I
Yeah.
don't know, like I still believe that there was some outside influence that have come into the locker room that say, hey, maybe this is Jalen Hurts' evaluation year. Let's try to figure out a way to evaluate him to see if he's going to be our long-term quarterback. Maybe our team is not our roster is not good enough to make a serious run. So let us try to evaluate him this year by throwing the football, see what he can do in order to see if we need to address the need of quarterback in the draft or Deshaun Watson or what have you. I think something like that has gone on behind the scenes
Yeah,
personally,
I
and
agree.
that's why we're not seeing enough of the run. Again, Miles Sanders, 11 carries this week, 45 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 2 carries, 16 yards, right? Um, Running backs with 4-point averages or better usually get more carries, right?
Yeah.
If you're in that 1.9 like he was last game, 2 yards a carry, now you stop giving him the ball. But when you 4 yards a pop, that's the first down every 3 you give it to him, you know. So I don't
Yeah.
understand why we're not running the ball. And I believe that yes, we're catering it so much to Jalen Hurts with the RPO that is kind of taking us away from those things.
Yeah, one thing I also noticed, play calling wise, it seemed to me that Sirianni, a lot of times it almost looked like he was trying to guess and catch Carolina in a blitz. It was almost like there were certain plays and certain route schemes that to me looked like you're expecting a blitz. And
Yeah.
we talked about it last week on the show where this team, the Panthers team, blitzed a lot. They attacked with their linebackers a lot, and I do feel that the offensive coordinators and the play callers on game day were expecting a lot more blitz, especially in the first half, and
Mm-hmm.
trying to catch the Eagles. I mean, trying to catch the Panthers in blitzes with different screens and zone
Yeah.
read things, and I think that they got I don't want to say they got out coached, but I think that their game plan there
Yeah, they were
wasn't
seeing
right.
ghosts.
Yeah, like if you go into a game and you're expecting blitz and you call if you don't give your quarterback the option to audible or to change the play, that's what's going to happen when you
Exactly.
see if you go into a game thinking, okay, hey, it's 3rd and 5, we're going to run this play, this screen because we're expecting blitz, but you don't give your quarterback the ability to check out of it or move to something else, you're going to see a lot of what happened, that ugliness of you drop back and the screen's not there and he's got to let it go, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of that happening where we were expecting one thing play caller wise on offense and weren't getting it, and it just made things out to be worse because he's not able to or not allowed to at this point right now
Yeah.
to check out and change the play.
And what Q is talking about to everyone that's listening is that the offensive coordinator has that level of control. But as your quarterback knows more, the less control the offensive coordinator wants. And he trusts the quarterback to the point where he can trust him with 2 plays. He can
Mhm.
trust him to get them into the right read. But if you don't trust the quarterback now as the offensive coordinator, you're trying to vicariously play through the quarterback and make the right decisions for him,
Yeah.
which could lead to bad decisions because you are not able to adjust and you don't have enough time to once that play call, I believe it's down to 10 seconds, you can't talk to the coordinator anymore. Was it 10, 15 seconds in a
And it
headset?
shuts off.
So
Yep.
with that 40-second play clock going down at about 15 seconds, I can't believe 10 or 15 seconds, I can't remember which one it is, you can't hear anything anymore from the coaching staff, right? And now it's just on the quarterback. So you can't go in there and play or call out the play for him. He has to
Hmm.
know it, right? So that's what we want Jalen Hurts to get to, where the coach trusts him with 2 plays.
Hmm.
Therefore, you look at the offense, a blitz, let me check to the screen. If it isn't, let's run the play that has the highest chance of success. So
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about there.
And there's zero margin for error, right?
Yeah.
If in those situations, if the defense, the offensive coordinator calls the wrong play or a bad play, that's what happens. It looks bad. And then
Yeah.
if you talk about you talk about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, right? Their offensive coordinators look like geniuses, but really
They
they're
didn't do
not,
anything.
they're not doing anything, right? And
Yeah.
so, and a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people know that already, but I mean, that's what the difference is when you're
Mhm.
allowing your quarterback to develop and learn the game and take his bumps and bruises. So, hopefully eventually, they'll loosen the reins on him a little bit.
Yeah, he got to prove. He got to prove it mentally. He had to prove it a bunch of ways.
Absolutely.
Got to make sure that he's in the right spots with the ball.
Hmm.
And a quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, whoever, if you're in the right spot with the ball, they can live with that more
Hmm.
than accuracy,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Because they know, and everything else is technique in order to get the ball there on time and so on and so forth. But if you're making the right reads, they'll trust you quicker. Now let's talk about playmakers, Q, because we neglect to talk about this sometime, and the order in which the playmaker should receive the ball.
Hmm.
And I don't think we do the best job of that at times, because I've always said that Dallas Goedert in the passing game is our best matchup
Hmm.
uh, in the passing game.
Yeah, I agree.
Then you go on to Devontae and Quez and Gainwell, Miles, but I think the offense should run through Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, and then you sprinkle in everybody else behind that in their requisite order, right? Whether that be Devontae Smith and Quez, Zach, and Jalen Rager, and so on and so forth. But unless you have that established as a coaching staff, and the plays should reflect that, the guys that are number one in the progression, how many times that guy is getting targeted, and so on and so forth. Zach Ertz, I love Zach Ertz. Great person, great dude, has been a historically great player, Ring of Honor Eagles player. That's what he is. At this stage in his career, and with Dallas Goedert being a better player than him right now, I want to see those targets, like we said last week, kind of go toward Dallas Goedert at times.
Yeah.
Um, so, do you think that um, the lack of structure and uh, planning when it comes to who's getting the ball is affecting Jalen Hurts? Because it seems like, or do you think just Nick Sirianni is just saying, hey, just get the ball around, we don't care? Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if so, looking at last game, it's funny. You brought up targets because I was looking at this as well. Devontae Smith had 8 targets. Quez had 3. Dallas Goddard had 3.
yeah.
Jalen Rager had 5. Kenny Gainwell had 3, but Ertz had 6 targets.
Hmm.
So, and Miles Sanders had 5, but Ertz had 6 targets, and
Double the amount of the
the,
guy that should be getting the ball.
exactly. And to me, and not to pile on Ertz right now, but and we've talked about it before. He's a player when he's in the game. There's a few plays where he was trying to block, and I saw a safety. I forget his name, number 43. A safety just
Yeah.
straight up just manhandled him and get off a block and make a play on a run that should have possibly gone 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, but instead it's a 3 yard gain. So what we're seeing is, okay, when he's in the game, people are treating him like a receiver, but
Hmm.
he doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the speed anymore, and I don't think his. I think the NFL has caught up to his
Mm.
body style, like his body movements. Like,
His batting move.
there's
Yeah.
only so many times you can run a stick nod, or so many times you can run a whip route or a shake at 10 yards before people just know, okay, I know what you're doing right there. So I
Yeah.
think, I think everyone's kind of caught up to Ertz. And I do agree that the ball needs to be not want to say forced, but it does need to go through Dallas. It does need to go through Devontae. It does need to go through Quez. I think Quez needs way more targets than he does.
Hmm.
Um, and
And
and Miles.
that's
And
structure though, Q, and
yeah.
that's how the team is run. That's like just setting the structure to the point where everyone knows, hey, listen, like when we played, we knew that, okay, LaShawn has to get the ball, Deshaun has to get the ball. Everybody else is going to come in at Jason. You're not going to get the ball on first, second down. You're going to get on third and fourth down. That's when
Hmm.
you're going to get it. Brent, you'll get some on first down because the tight end is valuable in the middle of the field. And that's how we lived, right? We knew that. There was no ambiguity. There was no reason to to feel jealous at all. This is how it was run.
Mhm.
And every team has that structure. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs now. We know that Tyreek and Kelsey is going to get the majority. Everybody else is going to fall in line after that.
Yeah.
And I think our team needs to get there in order for us to be. And we're not talking about individualism. We're talking about getting the ball to the players that gives us the most, the highest chance of winning.
Yeah.
And that's what that's about. Deshaun getting the ball more times than everybody else, it gives us the greatest probability of winning. And what we're saying is Dallas getting the ball gives us the. Have you guys been looking at some of his catches and runs and how many people he's running over and just pushing out the
Yes.
way? Like we need to see more of that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just there, and we won't beat on that drum too much.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
trying
almost,
to
I don't want to
go
cut
ahead,
you
go
off,
ahead.
but it's almost like it's almost kind of flipped from last week where okay, we were saying, defense needs to open up more and try some new things. And it's almost like the complete opposite this week, where the offense this week now it seems like they're not as open to trying new things and putting the ball through different players. So
Yeah,
it's an interesting dynamic. I feel like this entire year, it's either been offense was up here, defense was down here,
yeah.
and then the last game defense picked it up, and now the offense is kind of faltering a little bit. So let's get all on the same page, guys. Let's get this thing going.
Get it
So
going, right? So let's think about this too. All right. So and Jalen Hurts to me, because I didn't give an evaluation of Jalen Hurts this game. I probably besides the Cowboys game, this wasn't his best game,
mhm,
right? The Cowboys was awful, right? It was a bad game.
yeah,
This game, he came back, which is the most important thing,
yeah,
but he was inaccurate most of the game. And decision making, he had a few throws that he missed. The throw to Quez, you cannot miss that throw. You
mm,
just can't. It's
yeah,
an easy read. The corner bit on the play when it was supposed to happen, right in front of you, right in front of you. The corner played down. The cornerback is right behind. The corner is right behind him. You can't miss that. That's a touchdown throw. We got to make those types of plays.
yeah,
And also with Jalen, part of the reason that he struggles is that the receivers are not winners yet.
hmm,
And hear me when I say this, right? So one of the hardest things to do in the National Football League is to, especially outside, is to line up without motion, without help, and just beat the man. It's hard. It's not easy. We see guys that make it look easy, the Devontae Adams, the Keenan Allens, right?
mhm,
Even D Hop does not just line up and beat people. He out physicals people to the ball,
mhm,
right? But just line up and just beat people, that's Stephon Diggs. That's Calvin Ridley. That's Amari Cooper. That's, sorry to say, but that's like CD. Like they're lining up and beating people. When the Indianapolis Colts were the Indianapolis Colts, Reggie Wayne was on the left, Marvin Harrison was on the right. They did not move. They did not go in motion. But they were able to be successful doing the hardest things as a receiver. One, the quarterback was accurate. And two, they won their one-on-one matchups consistently,
mhm,
which is hard. They played the game as hard as you can play the game. Was no motions, was no assistance by the offensive coordinator or bunches and stuff like that. No, they lined up with a dude in front of them and they beat him 90% of the time. We're asking our receivers to do that stuff because we're a team that's not built with motion. We're asking them to do that, and we're not winners like that
mm.
yet.
Okay.
So therefore, it's going to be very, very hard for Jalen Hurts to have the success that we want him to have. We want him to succeed. We want our team to do well, but our receivers have to become consistent winners. Winners without the help of the offensive coordinator, because then and only then can the offense be opened up? Because you can create schemes for players, right? You should be able to get the player, 3-4 catches just by scheme. But there's going to be another 4 or 5 catches that's got to be him. And those hymns are going to be on third down. Those hymns are going to be in critical situations. Why do you think we're getting called for so many rub penalties? Because we need assistance.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah.
We need assistance. Coach is trying to manufacture a way for us to get the ball without press coverage because we're not winning them one-on-one.
Wow.
So when we talk about Jalen Hurts, we also got to talk about the receivers. And I'm not coming down on the receivers right now because I think they're young and they have this place to get to and go to. But we got to be consistent. Devontae showed it last game against the Chiefs, showed some flashes, and that's what a rookie does. A rookie's going to have way ups. He's going to have way downs. It's going to be up and down like the stock market all year. It's going to be up and down. It's not going to be a consistent thing yet. It's going to be volatile.
Okay. All right.
But yeah. So when we talk about Jalen Hurts, you got to talk about the receivers as well.
Okay.
Let's talk about the running backs real quick. 2 minutes. We'll give them.
About how many times, how many
we
carries
can't
they
talk
got?
too much about it. We can't talk. Well, they touched the ball a few times though, but Miles ran the ball fairly well, especially in the second half. Right, ran it fairly well. We dink and dunk a bunch. Offensive line in the first half feel like they forgot how to run block because they've been pass setting so much.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the
They
thing
wasn't
that's
moving
kind of
nobody.
no, they were getting moved backward most of the time. I would love to see Miles Sanders to become more of the offense and more the focus, but I don't know. I don't know if they are saying, okay, we don't want to pay him next year. I don't know what it is.
Is he up
Like these are
already?
the things. Miles is not this year, but next year, I believe.
Next year.
Yeah.
He's still on year 3, right?
He's in year 3, right? Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
changed it. So yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah. I don't know. They got Kenneth Gainwell. Maybe they're in love with him. This new staff didn't come in with Miles. Like I know that as a fan, we don't think about this stuff, but me being around the game and being on both sides of the game, I understand that sometimes the organization may be moving in another direction.
Yeah.
And I hope his lack of productivity and his lack of focus and attention isn't that. Hopefully this is just happenstance of them trying to create this college offense and he's the collateral damage for that. Hopefully it's that way.
Yeah. What a waste though. I mean,
yeah.
Geez. Listen, I love Gainwell.
It would be
so
a lot
far.
of teams that would love to have him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But not if he's only getting. Maybe if you're talking about wear and tear and you don't want to wear him out, knowing that you're possibly going to move him. Maybe I can get that. But also, you still want him to look good, right? If you're going to eventually trade him, right? You want him to get as many yards and then look as good as possible. But I have to say, man, Gainwell, he's grown on me a lot. At first I wasn't sold on him, but I like his game, and it's just a shame because Sanders and Gainwell, a 1-2 punch. That right there would just be phenomenal, and that just adds more firepower to this offense. And it's just a shame that he's not there, both not being used more.
Let me tell you this, and I'm gonna say this, and I agree with you. Miles Sanders not being in on passing downs, third downs, and in 2 minutes says a bunch about what they think about him.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're in year 3 and they're putting a rookie in to pass block in critical situations over you, there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right. And I know Gainwell is dynamic after the catch when it comes to catching, and he catches better than Miles. I understand that aspect of it. But it's very, very hard as a rookie to be able to figure out the schemes of blitzes and pick them up effectively.
Yeah.
We saw him give up one last week, right before halftime. And a veteran player like Miles should be able to do that. So therefore, they're saying that Miles is not able to do that, which is kind of the indication that they may be having problems with Miles that way. And so, because I don't understand how he's in there over Miles in those situations.
You know who else couldn't do that?
Who?
No, completely different level right now. But Adrian Peterson was the same way. And guess
Yeah.
what? First and second down, he was on the field, and they gave him the ball. Third down, he came off.
McKissick,
right?
McKinney.
McKinney. They brought whoever. They brought a fullback in to block on third down.
What's the name from Utah or somewhere out there, like Asiaga, something like that.
The cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah, it was something like that. Asiaga.
I don't remember. It was so long ago. But no. Like, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. And that was a West Coast offense as well, right?
Yeah, it was West Coast offense. I just hate that for a young player, because they're saying that he's not able to pick that up. So and I don't know. And I think and our receivers at times, just to go back a little bit, our receivers at times look confused. When you sit there and watch the entire game, there are times where guys are leaking off the ball and it's a full route. It's not a RPO. It's a full route, and guys are unaware of what's going on. I just think that they're still learning. This team is still learning what to do. Yeah.
And they're all young. So,
they're all young.
We expected it.
All right, we're going to transition this. We're going to transition this cue. We're going to transition this to the defense. Before we get to the defense, it's your time to shine.
Yes, sir. Man, I get two great things, right? All right, so we're going to talk about DraftKings, all right? So it's another week of the NFL football season, and that means another shot to win big at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sporting betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. The last 0-0 tie in the NFL was in 1943, so I'd say this is a no-brainer. DraftKings customers can also get skin in the game with the new same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using the promo code ITB. Just bet $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets. If either team scores a point, that's promo code ITB this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 and older in Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply in partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we are back from that great DraftKings read by my man Quintin Mikell. You guys are betting sports books, whatever you're doing, make sure that you check out the people at DraftKings. Thank you. I should have put some money on this game. The line was in my favor. I could have just got outright win right there.
A couple of my buddies are on DraftKings, and they're not Eagle fans. They went against the Eagles, and they were very upset.
See, there you go.
But some of my other buddies won, so they're happy.
All right, so topic 3, Eagles defense now. All right. This has been a pain in our side for the entire season, pretty much, besides the first game against the Falcons. They finally stepped up and played well. 18 points, you can win the game with a team scoring 18 points. You can. Mm-hmm. Defensive line was the key to this game. And I'm going to talk about a few things, but I want to get your overall take. Jonathan Gannon did some new things. I can tell everybody what he did. I know you can tell them. So I want you to just expound on the things that he did in the overall performance by the defense.
Yeah, I think that he finally started to trust his guys. We did do some different things. Looks like there was some eye fronts and some some under fronts and you know, 5-man fronts at times. You know, I'm rocking the safeties down the box, rolling from a two deep shell down to a single high player playing some
Yeah.
man. He changed it up and he kept the Panthers off balance, which I think was the difference in the game. So two things that really stood out to me. Our two defensive tackles kind of took over the game.
Yeah.
They control the line of scrimmage. Our ends play well. Our linebackers, for the
They
most
were
part, they play pretty well in the middle. There's a few plays here and there where they kind of got out of position on some inside breaking routes and a couple missed tackles here and there. But I will say, to me, the biggest difference besides all of that was having Rodney McLeod back. He adds such a different element. Yeah,
safety love. Check this out.
that's my guy, man. He adds, but no, seriously though, he adds such a different element to the game, in terms of his ability to, you know, go from a two shell without fear and dropping down to a single high, or going from a two shell and rolling to the middle of the field, you know, showing coverage in the middle of the field and rolling over to a cover two, and almost, you know, making a pick. And the play that Slay picked off, I believe it was Rodney was on the field on that one as well. So I think he just adds a different element to the game because he understands the game. He understands where he's supposed to be. He has the speed and agility to make plays. He's coming up every play, flying up full speed, closing in on tackles. And I just think he adds a different element to that secondary. And it was kind of, you know, oh, it was his first game back, but I think it was kind of what this secondary needed. They needed some life back there.
Yeah. Some leadership back there.
Yeah,
I
yes.
agree with you 100%. When you watch the coach's tape of the game, the one thing that you see in the back end is a guy playing at a different tempo than everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's Rodney McLeod. How he's getting in and out of his shifts when it comes to rocking the safety down into the box, and him coming out of the cover 4 or cover 2 and into the run lane. He's hauling ass to get into position to make a tackle, right? He wants to make the tackle. It's not guys out there just, oh, I'm doing my assignment, I'm getting a check off on the on a grading scale with the coach saying, oh, you did your job. No, he's coming out there trying to make a play. And that's the thing that you feel. And yes, that energy is contagious. Now, do I think that he was the main reason? No, I think that he was a great addition to the secondary.
Yes.
But the main ingredient for this entire thing was the D-line. The D-line killed that offensive line, and offensive line for the Panthers, either they're really bad or our defensive line is great, right? So, and I think there's a combination of both of those. But they had no answers for our defensive line, especially when we get into stunt. And they had a vested interest of sending the center toward Fletcher Cox, which left Hargrave not one-on-one, and he's going to eat on that. He beat a guy in literally 0.01 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? It was like so. I was like, oh my gosh. The quarterback couldn't even get finished with his drop before he was sacked. Right.
Yeah.
So I think the defensive line was the key to this game. Coverage wise, we've been saying, okay, they've been in this two shell, whether it's cover 2, whether it's cover 4, whether it's cover 6 or 8, whatever you want to call it. Right. They've been in this two shell. And they've been stagnant in that two shell, meaning they show it and they don't deviate from it. Everyone can see it. It's a picture that you draw up on the screen and everybody can see the defense like you draw it up on the board. That's the defense the Eagles have been playing. With Rodney back, now they're rocking the safety, which the only thing that they did differently, they played more cover 3, but they came out of the cover 2 shell, which they've been doing all the time, and confusing Sam Darnold. So you have a defensive line that's getting home, and then you have a secondary that's disguising only 2 coverage, 3 at the most. They played a little bit of man in the red zone at times, a few on third down, but very few man snaps. But they were active with the safeties. They were making cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4 look the same. And that's all you need sometimes,
That's it.
especially when you're playing a quarterback like Sam Darnold. Now, you can't do that versus Tom Brady. It won't work that way. But Sam Darnold, you can do that against. Right.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of guys, there's a bunch of Sam Darnolds that are coming up on your schedule, guys that are on that same level.
Yep.
So that's an effective way to start. So I applaud Jonathan Gannon for at least getting that accomplished. Right. We didn't see 5 or 6, 7 coverages. We saw 3 coverages. And I'm happy with those 3, 4 at the most. Right. I'm happy as long as you're going, you're changing them up. Okay. They play cover 3 times in a row one time. I was like, oh, look at the birds. Look at the Eagles. It looked like cover 2. It looked like cover 2. And sure enough, Darius Slay, they're playing it. Get back in cover 2, first pick. Bam. It's a pick because you were changing it up. It looked like cover 3. Look at that. Jonathan. Gosh, dog. Look at that. Who would have thought it worked like that?
Right?
Frick.
Man.
Yeah, right.
By the way, that play, listen, if you people watching at home want to teach your cornerback, if you're a coach, you want to teach your cornerback how to play the smash route with a cover 2, that is exactly how you play. The way Darius Slay, when he picked his first pick off, that's exactly how you play
smash
cover
concept.
2 on the smash concept. And the smash concept, all it is, you got a guy runs a 3-5 yard hitch, sits down. They run a corner right behind it. So number 1 runs a sit down, number 2 runs like a 10, 15 yard corner behind it. And then you try to pop that ball right over the corner's head. And a good corner that knows what he's doing is going to bait that throw every time. And that's exactly how you want it to be done. That was perfect, man. I was watching that like, ooh.
You giving Darius Slay too much scary. I love my man D Slay. I love him. But that was a terrible decision by Sam Darnold.
No, that was great cornerback play. He baited him.
The second pick. Now I was impressed by because he went to go get that pick. Right, that was pick.
For me, I think the second one was like he was in coverage, but that was a bad throw by Darnold. The second one was like, what are you looking at?
But he still had to jump in front of him and fight through a body in order to go get the ball.
Okay,
right. The first pick is just the quarterback was confused with the coverage.
Okay, so that's where we're at right now. So the first pick is like a scheme thing where like with me as a coach, I'm like, like, that's the scheme right there. The second one is the player thing where you're like, nah, that's a dog type play right there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where it is.
So he got them both. He got it both in them. So we
So we good. We win as long as we get it. Get it going. That was great to see. Some turnovers. Doggone it, we got some turnovers this game. How about that? We playing some football. Check Hercules.
Well, we had what 3, right?
We got 3 picks. We had 3 picks. Right, 3 picks.
Those are huge. Yeah,
Trayvon Diggs have more picks than most of the NFL teams right now. But we're making our way back. We got 4 picks for the season now.
I'm coming back, baby.
They
come in bunches, right?
They say interceptions and turnovers come in bunches. That's what they say. Now, linebacker play, I'll tell you this. Doggone Alex Singleton, 14 tackles, 10 solos.
Ooh, okay.
And you know what happens, ladies and gentlemen? When you get a smaller guy like that can run and the defensive line is causing so much disruption, you can't get offensive line up to him. It's less ground to cover as a linebacker. It's less people in your face. It's less bodies to filter through in order to get to the ball. And you get a fast guy like that, you're going to get some more tackles. That type of defense kind of plays into his hands a little bit. Now, he still made some mistakes, but 14 tackles for anybody is a great game. 10 solo tackles is hard as hell, right? That's a hard thing to do. 10 solo tackles is a hard thing to do.
That is. I mean, I didn't even know he had that many. I know he was all over the field. I didn't know he had 10.
He had 10 solo tackles.
It's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. He was balling. Now
14 total, 10 solo. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alex was moving around. He was moving. It was like unbeknownst until the end of the game. You'd be like, oh man, he was moving. You'd think about a couple plays like, oh yeah, he's moving around.
Yeah.
We still got to do a better job versus the run. Can't let Hubbard. Like I could see Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Can't let
So
Hubbard. You can't let. I can't even say his name. Chuba.
Chuba,
Yeah, Chubak.
he's Canadian, right?
Yeah,
I think he's from Canada.
yeah. But listen.
So here's what I'll say about that.
Okay.
Okay,
Tell me something I
he
need to hear.
let's see. Let me look it up real quick. He was
About 4 yards.
24 carries for 101 yards. Okay,
Hmm.
26 of those came on one play, where we had it was the first quarter.
Oh
I think it was a
yeah.
crack block, came down and cracked the safety.
Hmm.
He got outside the crack block, and Slay was the singled out corner on making the tackle. Now, he had a great game, 2 picks, covered well,
That ain't his
but
strong
we all
suit.
know that's not his strong suit,
That's
right?
not his strong suit.
All right, so if you take away that one play,
Yeah.
right, or if Slade just takes a better angle and just gets him on the ground at maybe 6 yards, and he's not able because Chuba's fast. He's really fast. How do you say his name? If we get him on the ground there, you're holding him to 75, maybe 80 yards,
Yeah.
right? So if you take that one play out, so now it doesn't look so bad. 101, you take away that one play. And I know you can't do that technically, but just one play right there brings him over 100 yards. So I'm still not going to say that it was too bad. Now, if they had McCaffrey, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
It
no,
might have been
that'd been
a much
150,
different.
160. Could have been. And if we're gonna like here's the thing. If you're gonna play cover two, we've said this multiple weeks. If you're gonna play cover two, gotta have aggressive corners. So
Yes.
we gotta be able to, and corners don't realize that, like, they wait so much. Like, I don't know what it is with cornerbacks and waiting.
They're
There's
waiting
no
for
other
somebody.
position on defense that waits. Cornerbacks, the only position on defense that waits. Q is laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. Because the longer you wait, you're going to get juked or ran over. You gotta hurry up into toward the line of scrimmage and cut down the distance so the guy doesn't have a chance to do anything.
Yep.
Right? You're trying to cut the distance down, cut the space down. So it's less likely that he gains yards and that he gives you a move or trucks you, right? That he has nowhere to go. But the longer you wait, you just put yourself in harm's way. And I don't understand. Like, cornerbacks sit there and wait.
They just because they waiting for somebody else to make the
yeah,
tackle. They're like,
you
"Come
make
on,
it. You
linebackers!
make it. Hurry
Come
up.
on, D line!" That's how Asante was, man. He was
Yeah,
like,
it
"Man,
hurt.
I'm gonna let somebody
Somebody
else come and take this hit."
they slow playing it, trying to contain them. Like, no, the sideline right there next to you. That's the contain play. Like, go get the ball.
Oh man,
It's like that sometimes. But the game-winning pick by Steve Nelson.
yeah.
What'd you see on that play, Q?
Oh shoot, I don't even think I saw.
On that third, no, on that third, like, so that last pick, Eagles go down to take control of the game. Panthers score, field goal to tie, touchdown to win. Comeback route.
Yeah. Okay.
DJ Moore, Steven
What?
Nelson gets a beat on it. Gets a nice beat on it. And they've been in this cover, like, and this is the thing. You start getting used to it and comfortable with things, right? And I keep bringing his name up, and don't get mad at me, Eagles fans, but I'm gonna tell you how stuff works. These cornerbacks start looking around the league and start seeing these guys getting picked and start sitting on routes. That's what happens, right? So you see Slay start getting some picks, right? On the other side, he's sitting on the route. Slay been, praising Trayvon Diggs publicly, saying, man, look, I see you. He like, man, I'm about to start sitting on these routes.
Yeah.
And he sits on two of them and gets 2 picks. So what do you think Steven Nelson's gonna do? Steven Nelson's like, man, look, it's my time to shine. I'm sitting on this. If he go past me, he go past me. But if he running this out route like I think he's gonna run it, I'm picking it. And sure enough, that's what happened. Got comfortable in that cover 3. DJ Moore didn't do enough to sell it. As much as I like him as a receiver, he needs to work on his stop routes. It was way too many indicators. Comeback route, I hate comeback routes anyway.
They're hard to get your body low, and to come out of it. And it puts the cornerback, especially in certain coverages, puts him at actually an advantage.
Yeah.
Because when the receiver's got to stop and bring his body back, we're already kind of sitting, especially if they're sitting on the
Yeah,
route. But yeah,
yeah.
on that play, yeah, I agree. He was definitely sitting. And I particularly, I don't think he really had a great game overall. I don't think Nelson had um
No, he gave up
his
that
best game. He
touchdown.
gave up, yeah,
He
and
gave up the touchdown again. Like Avante Maddox when he came down in motion. Oh, excuse me for cutting you off. Go ahead.
no, you good, you good.
Um,
Good.
yeah,
You talking about
the first
touch
touchdown.
the touchdown? Yeah,
He did the same thing in the 49ers game, right? Where he was looking inside, but he was in zone coverage in the 49ers game. They are not used to playing man to man.
yeah,
And Avante Maddox gave him an out call. You can see it on the film. Like, no, you're out. We going in and out. They did an in and out.
yeah,
The receiver that's over Avante Maddox sprays outside, which is technically Steven Nelson's man because
yeah.
he's out. He's the furthest guy out. That's out. You go in and out. I'm taking the inside guy. You take the outside guy. And you can see Avante Maddox pointing to him. But this dude goes and check this out. Both corners do it.
Yeah.
So if you look at the other side,
Oh,
Darius Slay was beat too.
oh Lord.
I was like, man, like they don't ever play man to man because that's as basic as you get.
Yeah,
They going into a stack. All right, you play inside, I play outside,
yeah. That's the most
or
simple.
you play low, and I play high.
So when I was watching, that's what I originally thought. I actually thought at first that Maddox messed up because he was the low guy, and usually, if there's so what we're talking about is some people call it banjo coverages, some
Yeah,
people call it in and out coverages. Basically, when two type of receivers, whether it's a tight end or a receiver, get close together. If you're in a man coverage, there's multiple ways to play it where you just kind of read the play and read the route pattern and kind of as soon as they declare which way they're going, if they're going one vertical and one low, or whether one's going in and one going out, you basically wait for them to declare which way they're going, and then you lock on after that point. And so there's multiple ways where you can have one guy that's low and one guy that's high, and meaning the guy that's low is going to possibly jam the guy on the ball or the closest to the line of scrimmage, but he's going to take whoever runs the low route. Then the safety that's further back or the cornerback that's maybe 6 yards deep, he's going to take whatever vertical route comes out of it. So that's what I originally thought they were doing, because I originally thought that was Maddox's fault because he was the low guy
yeah,
and the tight end ran to the flat and they both went vertical. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I don't know whose fault was that, because I think you're right. I think they both.
yeah.
I think because they both ended on the vertical route.
Both ended up on the
Nelson was
vertical route.
outside.
Yeah,
Nelson
and
was
Nelson's outside.
outside.
They weren't stacked
So
like traditional, right? They weren't stacked like traditional. And when he was coming in motion, Avante Maddox points.
he
Like,
said,
I
yeah.
don't know what they have, but all I know is when Avante Maddox points out there, like, hey, you out there. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
you out there. And
Yeah.
and those look, but that's not playing man coverage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because
That's
those are the
right.
things that you communicate. Because when teams start getting in stack, you got to have an answer for it. Whether we're
Mm-hmm.
locking it, meaning that you have to fight through traffic and get your own man, you declare it no matter what, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
the chance
Yeah.
of getting picked off. You say, okay, I got low man. So whoever's the lowest, I'll take him. You take high, or in and out, or whatever. We got to filter through that. But both sides messed it up. So it didn't matter
That's
if he looked
crazy.
left or right. It would have been a
Wow.
touchdown.
I didn't even see those. So I was so locked into the strong side. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
yeah, it's something they have to work because they just put that on film, so they're going to see it again next week.
yep. You would think as many rub routes as we run on offense, they'd be used to it, right?
They'll be used. Yeah, no. A guy just runs a lazy hitch and catches a touchdown. I'm like, dude, why didn't that ever happen to me? Right?
Why can't I be wide open like
Yeah,
that?
just
That's the
wide
easiest.
open.
I don't
Yeah,
even know who it
yeah.
is. Trumbull, something like that.
With the
The tight
route.
end that caught it was his
Oh
number
yeah.
82.
Yep, he was just sitting there chilling. Yep.
All right.
So that's the defense pretty much wrapped up. I think that Jonathan Gannon gets some credit
Yeah.
because he definitely played or called a much better game. Rodney McLeod helped him out a bunch being back in there. Defensive line plays stellar. When the defensive line plays well, it gives the secondary a chance to be aggressive. and to sit on a few routes because your D line is getting home and that the offensive line can't block them. That's where turnovers happen. When the defensive line is getting after people, turnovers will happen.
Yeah.
So I think that helped Gannon out. I still want to see some more blitzing. I still didn't see a bunch of blitzing at all. It just doesn't seem like it's in his cards. And if you want to blitz anybody, you got to blitz Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the guy you definitely want.
That's the guy. If he can't see Darius Slay trying to throw a doggone sideline in the whole shot with the safety could have picked it off too.
Yeah, I think there was Rob on that one, right?
Yeah, everybody could have picked that off. You know what I mean? If he can't recognize that, you can blitz him. And if he's getting confused and you playing 3 coverages, cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4, and he confused, it's time to blitz him. Because that's as simple as it gets. Even though you're rocking the safety, listen to me. It's an upgrade for what we have done, but trust me, it's still vanilla defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
Well, listen, man, baby steps. All right. So we're getting.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Happy.
Good job, Gannon. Good job, Gannon. Good job, buddy.
I'm just happy to see some good defense, man.
Good job. Good job, buddy. At least they ain't score 40. Good job. Good job.
Cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded.
That's good. That's good. It's still, like I said, it's still vanilla. We still got to do it. We got a long way to go. We can't get like I said, we play that same defense the same way this week and playing against this team 2 nights from now. Listen, he just hung up 5 touchdowns on somebody last week. Yeah. So
you know what I'm just thinking too. You're right on that. It wasn't a smash route. It was a flat route. Number 2 went to the flat, and number 1 ran the go route on Slade's first pick.
Exactly.
So yeah, my bad. So when you go look at it, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking smash route, but it's the same idea, same
concept. Yeah.
Number 2 goes to the flat. Number 1 runs a vertical.
Yeah.
But it was still a beautiful play.
It was.
Thank you for correcting me on that.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. All right, so let's get to this Manscaped read. Support for the Q&A show is brought to you by Manscaped, the champion of the world for men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and they just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard it right, 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code QA at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I've tried the 4.0 and I'm blown away. The craftsmanship and details are second level. Nobody wants to get hurt down there. You know what I mean. So Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th-generation trimmer has a cutting-edge ceramic blade that reduces those accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. You got to be comfortable down there. You know what I mean. This upgraded trimmer also has a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock and has a 4000K LED spotlight that can turn on and off for more precision on your shave. The new lawnmower even allows you to customize your trim with guard length sizes 1 through 4. How about wireless charging? Their new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction to help the battery last longer. Men, you can't use the same trimmer on your nuts and face. Nobody needs pubes in their mouth. Get your own ball and hair and body trimmer with Manscaped. Make me time the best time like Jason Avant always does. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code QA at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code QA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code QA to unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job. And again, your balls will thank you. Thanks to Manscaped.
sir.
That's some funny stuff. The the Q&A show is out this week. We're ready for the Buccaneers to come to the league. I'm keeping hope alive, ladies and gentlemen. I'm keep hoping. There's a sliver of an opportunity that the birds can shock the world. We can be Muhammad Ali. We can float like a butterfly. We can sting like a bee. We can cause all type of problems for the casinos in Las Vegas and right in Philadelphia. We can do a bunch of things with DraftKings. No, I'm stopping. I'm just rhyming.
I liked it.
Let me stop. But
I'm putting money on it.
there's a chance.
Trying to shock. We're shocking the world, man.
We got to shock the
putting money
world
on
this
it.
week.
Let's
Listen,
go.
if we can win this game, if we can win this game against this team, this would be the most confident and the most this would be a miracle. I'm gonna say it. If we can beat this team, this would be a miracle, and this team will take off.
It could. Listen, if this team, if they win this
Which
game,
team?
if the Eagles win this game, that's something that could set up this entire team for a great season. It could be the stepping stone of, because like
I want this game.
It always takes us that one game to make everyone believe. Just one game, and a lot of times it takes one play in one game to make an entire team believe. This could be that game, man. It could be. Everybody's.
I'm hoping.
Listen, man. It's look at it on paper. Yes, it looks like we don't have a chance at all. I'm gonna lie. And I think I would say 95% of that is Tom Brady is the reason.
Yeah. Tom Brady seems to get the ball out like nobody else. He knows where everybody is, always getting the ball out on time. And if he's under duress, he knows where the check down is. Mm-hmm. This game isn't that hard. He's accurate at his age. And they're playing with better people. Their third receiver is Chris Godwin, who's technically a Pro Bowler.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
It's crazy. And Antonio Brown is looking like he was 5 years ago. So it's looking ominous. But if we can get this win, if we can play well this game, that goes a long way with our team. So I'm looking forward to this Thursday night, and I know you guys are. I may even be at the game. We'll see how it goes. And I'm looking forward to it. And this is the Q&A podcast, Q&A show. Make sure you guys are checking in and following us, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check us out, YouTube, Inside the Birds YouTube channel. Also, send your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. I'm Jason Avant. My partner in crime here is Quintin Mikell. Quintin, you can sign off. Say good night to the people.
Sure, it's been great, everyone. Excited for this game this week. And, we'll see how it's going. But it's always been a pleasure, Jay. I love talking with you. I say it. I learn something every week, man. So I appreciate it.
That's you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Been great, man. Y'all have a good night.